What's going on, guys? So I've had a lot of people send me messages about the head that I use for my cat mulcher or for my compact track loader, the mulcher. And basically I use a Dennis Seamoff head, which is I think they were bought out by Mobart, or something happened, a transition last year. I've had no problems getting parts from them. It's all located or used to be out of Canada. My cat dealership actually was able to, they were the dealer for them, and they did everything for you, and they kind of lined everything up for you and stuff. But now that's not the case. I know my local cat, I think, has actually, they sell their product. I'm not sure if they got any other heads or anything in yet, but they definitely are good heads. I really like them. I think it's more of a lightweight, it's not bulky, and it's a pretty solid, simple head. But anyways, the question's been asked, what teeth do I use on my mulcher? So I use a steel knife. I can run carbides or I can run steel cutting teeth. I use a steel knife. I used to use the Dennis Seamoff steel knives. Now I use, I guess you'd say an off-brand, but they're a pretty good tooth. I use King Kong. These are a little off from, they're like, if you put these beside a Dennis Seamoff, this tooth's gonna be off. So Dennis Seamoff, and I don't have it, I'm actually been looking for it in my drawer here. I have a little gauge. I had it somewhere here. I was actually looking for it. It'd be nice if I could find the darn thing. So basically, the head comes with a gauge, and I don't use the gauge anymore because I've been doing it for a while, and I'd love to find it, though. It's killing me. My freaking gauge at it. Anyways, the head comes with a gauge, so you put it up to this. You got to keep that angle. If you sharpen it and it's beveled down or it's up too much, then basically it's going to cut. If you're not actually sharpening this thing correctly, it'll cut like a carbide, basically. So these are the teeth I use. I used to run carbides on the outside, and I ran these in the center. I changed it up. Now all I do is run these, because basically when these get dull, they actually act like a carbide. So this is one, I hired a guy and I made him sharpen some teeth. This is not the way to sharpen them. You can see these angles are nothing alike. That wouldn't cut worth a crap. It'd be cutting up under here. And which is nothing different than a carbide. I mean, the carbide isn't really sharp. When you first put them on, they're halfway sharp, and then they dull out. Let me see if I can find a quick tooth. Let's see. All right, so this still got a lot of life in it. I normally will knock out a few good jobs, keep them sharpened to an extent, and then once my teeth start getting some wear on them, I actually notice more of a vibration in the head. So I go ahead and I get my mechanic to switch out and put new teeth on. Now, everybody don't do that. I only do that because I want to know when I go to a new job that's a big job, or somewhere where I want to have make some good mulch, and actually do a fine-tuned job. I want to know I've got a good sharp edge that I can keep sharp. Sometimes when you go do a cutover, And a cutover, I mean, if it's a place that's been logged and it's pines, sometimes you'll go, and when you go to do that job, if you start out with these teeth, by the time you're done with that job, if you don't sharpen them, you're going to have these teeth if you're digging in the ground with stumps and everything else. So basically, depending on your job and depending on your soil type, we have clay soil here. You know, I think each to his own. Carbides, in my opinion, well, it's a fact that carbides are made for more of a higher horsepower machine. My machine's 110 horsepower. I think it's 90 some at the head or something, I don't know, or 90 horsepower, like actual, however all that works. But the carbides, which this isn't a carbide, it's basically just been made into one because it's just been beat to death. So it's basically a carbide. And you can run it like that. You're just gonna go, you're gonna mulch a lot slower because your machine doesn't have the horsepower to actually power through and turn that head fast enough to actually chop the stuff. It bogs down the machine really bad if these aren't sharpened. So that's why I got away from using carbides. I used to run them some. I got away from using them. You know, most guys will run them because they don't have to switch them out. They don't have to change them. They don't have to sharpen them. In my opinion, it sets my company apart from the competition because most of the competition is too lazy to sharpen their teeth. When it's hot outside, people don't want to sharpen their teeth. I don't want to sharpen mine, but I have to. If you sharpen them twice a day, they'll stay perfect and you won't have to spend a lot of time. If I had to fix that tooth right now, it'd take me a minute because the tooth's jacked up. But this one, if I keep that angle and I sharpen it every day, that angle will stay like that. And I've got an eye for it now, so I mean, I can tell if it's got the right angle. It may not be 100%, but it's pretty daggone close. If I have my little gauge, I could show you. But the dentist seam-off gauge is not 100% accurate with this tooth, because the dentist seam-off teeth and the King Kong teeth are basically two different, they're off a little bit. So basically the dentist seam-off tooth, if I had one, I'd show it to you, but I don't have any. They're actually, I think either they're down a little bit more, they may be out a little bit more. So that gauge it's for the dentist seam-off tooth that comes with the dentist seam-off head. It's not for the King Kong tooth. But it's basically the same thing, but it's just a little bit of a different angle. They're pretty neat how they're made. I looked up how I guess they forge them. I don't know, whatever. Melt it down and all that good stuff. It hardens steel. But so the difference between, you know, like I said, the carbides, and the steel knives are better for a lower horsepower machine like mine. And the carbides are better for high horsepower machines because those higher horsepower machines spend more repetitions per minute. They got more hydraulic fluid going to the head, so they're able to tear up more crap. These are really good. I can take down any kind of softwood or pine tree. I mean, I take them down like this all the time. 20 inch, 25 in diameter, whatever. I mean, I take them down with no problem. You just have to be careful how you take them down. You don't want them coming back on you. Now, hardwoods, normally I stick to 10, 12 inch in diameter, but I can do bigger. But it's just, if you tell people you can do bigger, somebody's going to call you and that's all they're going to have, and you're going to screw yourself. And then they're going to call your bluff on it and say, well, I thought you said you could do this, this, this. So I try to stick to not telling them that I can do up to a 20 inch in diameter pine, because if I do, I'll get a name for it, and I don't really want to be killing my machine all the time. But if the money's right, I'll do it. But anyways, that's the teeth I use. The King Kong hardened steel knives. King Kong also makes a knife tooth with a hardened back. It's got weld across the back of it. They claim you don't have to sharpen it, like self sharpens itself. That's baloney. They sent them to me. I tried them out. They're good teeth, You can still sharpen them, but you still got to sharpen them. You can't. It's not gonna fix it. The weld, I think, makes the tooth a little stronger on the back. They take a little welder, they actually weld beads across the back, and it's supposed to help keep them the same angle and same sharpness. I don't feel like it really did. I mean, I don't feel like they lasted as long as these do. So I just buy these. I know the teeth run, you know, if you're calling them and you've never got an account with them or something, I think you'll pay around 28 bucks a tooth, 27 bucks a tooth. I don't pay that for them. It's a funny thing. I was buying these teeth from a local competitor. He buys pallets at a time. He's got pallets in a warehouse of nothing but these teeth. King Kong. So I was buying them from him for a dirt cheap price. Well, then I started a commercial on TV, and he's got a commercial on TV, and I guess when he seen it, he decided to jack my price up to higher than what I pay from King Kong Direct. So that just shows you how people get when they think you're doing something making money. Now, people ask me my grinding pads. This is a 4-inch grinding pad. I think that's a 3-inch or whatever, 4-inch too. Yeah, it's just made different. I actually bought these off of Amazon. They were like 90 bucks. They're made by 3M. I can't think of what grit they are. Sorry, I'm on another level tonight. Had a lot going on today. Let's see here. Well, this little thing doesn't tell me. Not yet. Let's see here. Nope. I don't know. Let's see. So these are the pads that I use. I've got a DeWalt grinder. It's a battery powered grinder. It fits these discs perfect. Actually, these are the 4-inch right here. So these are really good. It's a good tool to have to sharpen your teeth on the go. If you're out in the field and you don't have a compressor, or you don't have, you need at least 4 batteries to sharpen 27 teeth, and that's to do it right. If they're not messed up too bad. If you got a bunch of teeth like this, you're going to go through a battery about every 3 or 4 teeth trying to fix them. So it's just a FYI. But if you're going to stay on top of them and keep them like this, you can sharpen with 4 batteries, 3-4 batteries, depending on how hard you are, you know, how much you're having to take off, how much metal you're having to take off of these. You can get by with 3 or 4 batteries. I've got 2, and I sharpen the center ones out and do it evenly. I'm sorry, I got 3. I got the hiccups too, but I've got 3 batteries. Man, I can't get rid of my darn hiccups. But these are made by 3M. It says 36. I don't know. You can see right here on the back of it. I actually got a guy that does this. He does a lot of forestry clearing. He's got numerous machines. That's what they use, grinding pads, battery power grinders. He said he don't use pneumatic or gas powered. CMOF comes with a gas powered tool. I can show it to you sometime. I got it up there in the loft in my shop, and it's pretty neat. It's a weed eater that's just reduced down. I'm so sorry I got the hiccups. But anyways, these work good. I think they were like $90. You get a pack like this. It's got more in it. I forgot how many it had in it. But basically, that's how I roll with my teeth. So I hope this helps out. I hope this answers anybody's questions about teeth. There's some heads that, I know like a cat head, I'm not sure what teeth you can run on that. I know I had a Loftiness G4 head, and it was actually, I felt like I never put a knife on it. I always had carbides. So, but the Seamoth head's a really good head, and the Loftiness heads are really good too. I'm speaking off experience with these. Fecon's got a good head. I think it depends on what you like, what you want. If you like red, if you like gray, and if you like whatever color it is. So that's it. Like I said, sharpen your teeth daily. If you stay on top of them, you'll get 40 to 60 hours out of them. No problem. If you don't stay on top of them, like I did a cutover job with this one, they were already getting in kind of rough shape, so I just decided to roll with it. If you're digging in the dirt, hitting a bunch of rocks, man, I can't believe I've got the hiccups like this. It's pretty crazy. If you're getting in the dirt, you're hitting a bunch of rocks all the time, you're grinding stumps in the dirt and stuff, you may as well just run this like it is, because sharpening it just makes it, I mean, you're just wasting your time, because it's gonna go from this quick to this pretty quick. Because something about stumps, when you're grinding them to the ground, and then you're kind of, it's almost like you're pulverizing them, and you're running into rocks and stuff where the loggers that pushed them up, you're just ruining your teeth. So anyways, that's it. So you go on Amazon, you can look up the 3M. I think you can put in 3M, it says 36, I don't know if that's a grit or what. I don't know much about it. I got his advice and I went and bought them. Y'all have a good night. Take care.